It is with great conviction in the power of knowledge that Kids with Vision was created. We're students, professors, activists, people from varying backgrounds, united in our effort to reduce the knowledge disconnect that occurs primarily due to non-occurrence of this health issue in the United States.
I first became aware of and involved with Kids with Vision in the spring of 2008. Faizan Siddiqui, who's the founder of Kids with Vision, contacted the chair of our humanities department, Ann Cotton at the time, and a solicitation to meet some of the students and see if a productive collaboration could be enacted. He was hoping to find some advanced students who'd be able to partner up with and take some ownership in his vision of creating an interactive website, promotional videos, and hopefully a full-length documentary about the Kids with Vision project. So Faizan came to our program, the communications program here at BCC, and gave a number of presentations to our advanced production courses, and was able to find a number of interested students who had the requisite skill sets that he was looking for. Kids with Vision provided the venue for them to really test their mettle, and through the internship program here at BCC, they were able to forge what I think is a very productive collaboration, which has allowed the audio-visual aspect, the media aspect of Kids with Vision to grow, I think, quite exponentially over the last year and a half.
Preventable childhood blindness could be ended around the world simply with better nutrition and access to basic medical care.
I mean, the problem is relatively simple. It's just that in the poorest places of the world, like some parts of India or Bangladesh or Tanzania, these developing countries, children are born into this abject poverty, and it's not their fault. It's just not their fault. I mean, they're just kids. They're just born. But they don't have access to nutrition. They don't have access to vitamin A, which is essential for your eye's health. And even if they were diagnosed with these issues of glaucoma or cataracts or corneal scarring, they can't get to these hospitals because either there aren't any, or if there are, they're hours and hours away, and the children just don't have access to get there. They just can't get there.
Understanding and appreciating the world we're born into rests equally on each of our senses. Missing one of them is like missing a unique piece of a grand puzzle, a puzzle which we call mankind, and the missing piece is the ability to see.
What I hope to personally achieve with Kids with Vision is something I already know how to do: to educate children, specifically younger children, with age-appropriate information. What I hope to do is to go into classrooms and talk to children, young children, about counterparts that are in developing countries. Talk to them about the Indian girl who, because of no fault of her own, simply by being born in poverty, has lost her vision at age 3. And I really believe this. What will happen is these children will want to help their counterparts.
I remember something that Faizan had said to me, and it was really important, and it was one of the biggest reasons why I started doing work for Kids with Vision. In reality, we don't have to let this organization outlive the few of us working for it. Within a few decades, or even our lifetimes, we can live in a world where the majority of these cases of preventable and treatable childhood blindness is literally non-existent.
Well, what I've done so far is edit what Faizan had already taken in India, in Bangladesh. Just hours and hours of this awesome footage, poignant, raw footage of these children. He went to the blind schools, he went to the hospitals. I mean, he was there with these kids, living with them for a couple of weeks, and I was the lucky one. I mean, I got to go through all that footage, and the hardest part is trying to convey to an audience, an American audience, that these issues are very real in other places of the world, but the idea is to help and is to spread the awareness that this is an issue. Preventable childhood blindness is real, but it doesn't have to be. So my task is to take all this footage and make it into something coherent, and it's hard because there's no right way to do it. There's just an awful lot of wrong ways.
Much of what I want to accomplish in my life and career are things that are, for the most part, visually oriented. I want to be a graphic designer or a film director or an artist of any sort. And the thing is it's about what you see and how you see it. And if I weren't able to see, I wouldn't be able to accomplish those things.
We can solve this. We can solve this together. And we can solve this by writing petitions, by raising money, by sending it, by visiting the website Kids with Vision, by just talking, continuing the conversation, so that more and more people know about this.
Wherever you work, in whatever aspect, try to involve people.
Absolutely.
And give them the information. They will decide to act together. Most of the time people have a tendency of convergent ideas.
Absolutely.
And when you give them the good cause and give them the skills or inform them about creating awareness, I think that makes a huge difference, and you get lots of more energy from new people who are getting involved.
I've been very fortunate. I was born in a first world country, a country with a very high standard of living. I've had a balanced diet, and I've had access to quality medical care. And I would hope to bring some of that to children in a less fortunate country.
Those children who do come in these special education schools, we in a way pity them. Okay, that's the way they are. Right. But in many ways they are lucky because they are in that school.
Exactly.
Which teaches them a lot of values and social skills.
Right.
There's so many of them who can't even get to those schools, who just stay at home.
Right, exactly.
But then today their parents are looking after them. But 20 years down the line, you will not be sure whether their brothers or sisters would look after them, or later their nieces and nephews would look after them. Because there was a study that people who are handicapped, at least in Indian society, they are less likely to get married because they can't find a spouse. So they are more likely to be alone. They are more likely to be uneducated, more likely to be less educated, more likely to be unemployed. So it's just that they are staying just a burden on the families.
When I was doing a national survey of blindness in children in Bangladesh from London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine, where I work, and during that survey, we met more than 2,000 blind children across the country, and we realized that about a third of them can regain vision if we can detect them at an early age and give them a referral system and service where they can get surgery and intraocular lens. So 1/3 of them were unnecessarily blind for cataract, which is curable with a simple 15-minute, half-an-hour surgery.
Sadly, in less time than it takes us to watch this video, many children will have needlessly lost that ability, and many among them, their lives. It does not have to be like this. Not if we all take a sense of ownership and do what we can to learn about avoidable childhood blindness, to share it with our friends, our neighbors, complete strangers, and in doing so, create value where none existed before.